the next financial year.
Okay, fair enough. So my second question would be regarding the borrowings that we have in our balance sheet. So right now, if I can see that it's around almost 3,000 CR, and now that Tejas has been getting good numbers. So and even if in last phone call that we had discussed that probably by the end of this financial year, it will start to get eased out. So right now, are you planning to just reduce the pressure on working capital cycle?
Question was on borrowing and increase of.
Yeah, so I think the point we made in the last call also, I think it broadly continues as the project execution picks up or moves towards completion. You'll see the working capital intensity coming down. This obviously is also linked to other projects and as and when they get added to the order book. So till the time you have clarity on some of those projects, hard to comment on how the working capital cycle plays out.
Okay, fair enough. And my last question would be that if I'm correct, that the BharatNet order is around 65K approximate budget, and and Tejas specifically in supplying of equipment. So can I conclude that specifically with respect to this particular project, it's around 6,000 CR that will be eligible for bid, right?
So I think you're calculating as 65,000 CR as officially for this phase, and then maybe you're taking 10% of that. So I think I would say in the ballpark, but could be lower and all. I mean, based on the combination of that, and also depends on there are many other equipment, right? I mean, all of it is not addressed by our portion of the equipment in the network. There are other equipment also, right? But ballpark you can say 8 to 10% of the overall spend comes into it. The rest of it is fiber and other infrastructure.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Mehta from GK Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir, and congratulations on great set of numbers. So my question is with regards to private players in the domestic market. So there has been a lot of news flow regarding network upgradation deals being awarded to our global competitors. So just want to understand what is it that we are missing and we are not able to get a share of that pie from the private players.
Yeah, I think most of them for their upgradation have gone with their existing vendors. And as I said, that our focus has been largely up to now on the execution of the BSNL project. At the same time, we started POC last quarter with some of the other opportunities, operators, and the private industries as well. So I would say because they are in a hurry to expand, most of them have gone with the existing vendors, with the existing networks and so on. But at some point of time later on, after we complete our POC successfully, I think we will certainly expect to get some opportunities into the network. So this will still have a long tail of deployment.
So what is the winning point we have over them? Because if you see, it will be easy for them to integrate the existing equipments with the existing brand only. So what is the winning point that we might slice in a share from private players?
I think our equipment will be quite competitive, and it will support most of the bands, or almost all of the bands that are getting deployed in India. So a wide range of bands will also be supported. We have a variety of single band, dual band, triple band radios, quite a wide list of products. And also from an architecture point of view, our RAN, which has the BBU with integrated transport and things like that, features which reduce the overall cost of solution. I mean, those are some of the features that we think will have a differentiator with respect to global competition.
So, just one point. Whether cost-wise we are efficient from our competitors, from global competitors or not?
Let's put it this way, that it is not, an apples-to-apples cost kind of a thing, but the overall solution, the total cost of ownership when we if you combine our radios and all the things that I talked about, the multi-band radios and the BBUs with integrated transport and a single preview doing 4G, 5G. I mean, product is architecture such that the total cost of solutions would work out better.
Okay, so any timeline for this POC when it will complete it?
It is going on right now, so I think it will take some time, maybe another quarter or things like that when the POC.
Got it. And secondly, looking at our current order book, it seems that we will exhaust it within this financial year itself. So till now, after the BSNL order win, we haven't seen any major addition to our order book. So how do we see maintaining our revenue flow going ahead in the absence of any major addition?
Well, as I said, we don't give future revenue guidance, but we give a flavor of the opportunities, large opportunities that we are targeting that are in front of us, which look positive for us, and and those are the ones that are going to fill our backlog in our order book, and that's where the future business is going to come from. And it's hard to pinpoint a particular number and to see how the business is going to get replicated.
So do we see any major addition in order book in next 6 months or within this financial year?
Again, hard to give timelines, but I'll just go back to the slide where we talk about the key opportunities targeted, which is the expansion of the BSNL 4G network, the 5G upgrade in the current band, and the other ones, right? I mean, the railways and the BharatNet Phase 3, expansion of WDM backbone. All of them are actually fairly large projects, right? I mean, of course, the 1,000 crore kind of a thing, right? So, once they materialize, I think that's the time we'll see our order book really expanding in terms of large numbers. But again, I just want to tell you that we're not giving any guidance over here, and these are also all opportunities where we are well positioned, but we have not really one in our hand to really give guidance about.
Got it. And just last question, over tax rate, our tax rate is a little higher if we see. So why is it so?
Sorry, can you say higher? How are you looking at that?
So looking at new tax regime, I can compare it with new tax regime. It seems a little bit higher, at 2% around so.
We are not migrated to the new regime. We have losses accumulated over the past, so we're still in the old regime of taxation.
And when do we plan to shift to the new regime?
So that will depend on various parameters, including how and when we absorb our losses.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, and all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Krishna Heda from the Investment Forum. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, speak a little louder.
Yes, sir. First of all, congrats on the excellent set of numbers. How does the company plan to accelerate international sales, given that international revenue contribution remains small at 3%? Are there any new strategic geographies or contacts in the pipeline?
As I said, we have been investing and continue to invest into our sales channels and partnerships into the targeted geographies, which is North America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Middle East, Africa, Asia, and so on. So our strategy for growth is, investing in more and more sales channels and partnerships, and participating in, as we get more visibility, we are participating in a lot more trade shows for building our brand and getting more notice and winning whatever customer deals comes along to build our reference in those geographies, right? So this is a little long process which goes on. I mean, there have been significant engagements, significant opportunities that have also come up, which we are going through the process right now. But yeah, it is a long way. It's a long process of building your brand, building your channels, and getting to success, right? So, and we are going through all of that right now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. A request to all the participants, please restrict your questions to 2 per participant. If you have any follow-up questions, you can rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Komal Iyer from NBG CFO Services. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I want to know, you have mentioned in your press release that you have made record deliveries of 30,000 plus 4G sites. So will you be able to maintain these kinds of deliveries for the next 2 quarters or exceed them?
Our manufacturing lines have been scaled to those kind of things.
Yeah. So yes, we have actually we have increased capacity, so we will have the ability to deliver.
So we will be able to exceed the 30,000 plus number for the next 3rd and 4th quarter.
Well, I can't reveal exact numbers, but let's just say that we have the ability to execute.
Okay, that's it. Thank you from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajesh Khattar from RK Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I have 2 to 3 small questions. So, you have shared your order book. Can you also share your pipeline numbers, as in like how many tenders you have bid for, what is your confidence level in bidding the tenders and the pipeline closing cycle?
No, unfortunately, we don't do that.
Okay. Then my next question, like historically, the business has been quite up and down in the last 4 years. In 1 quarter or year, suddenly there are operating losses, and then in 1 quarter, suddenly you have bumper numbers. So going forward, I know you don't give guidance, and I'm not asking for numeric guidance, but going forward, like, will it be more consistent and less volatile? What will be the business trajectory going forward? You can just give a qualitative answer without getting into specific numbers. So as investors, how should we model the business?
Well, if you see our business still has is still dominated by large projects. So and when that comes in, and large projects are still in terms of a total business component, I mean, they're still dominant. So there will be periods when you see business wins coming, for large projects, and they get executed over multiple quarters, and the run rate business will become whatever comes from the private and the international kind of a thing. So while big projects dominate, I mean, there is a possibility of seeing spikes in terms of revenues, and that's the fact, right? I mean, that's the nature of our business as of now.
Okay, is it possible to give any base case scenario, or you will like to avoid that also?
No, not that. I think the way we should probably see the business is from an overall annual point of view, right? I mean, quarter by quarter, while if our business is dominated by large projects, and there will be spikes, but I think overall, year over year, the business is what you always need to model.
Okay. So my last question, when you have the capacity, the previous participant asked you about your capacity to deliver 30,000 sites, and when you do have the capacity, you said, so what can stop you? What could go wrong, let's say in the next quarter or the next to next quarter, where let's say you don't, do 30,000 sites? What can go wrong?
In terms of manufacturing, there is no issue. As long as the order keeps coming the way we have anticipated and the way we see it, I don't think we have any issues in terms of being able to manufacture them.
Okay. So, I mean, in terms of delivery or revenue, like, what could go wrong? Just trying to understand, like, why will it not translate into the numbers, or what can happen there?
What could go wrong in terms of manufacturing supply chain? I mean, if we have the order book, we don't, unless there are unforeseen events in terms of supply chain or any other thing that happens in a abnormal business cycle. I don't think any other factor really comes in, because we have really worked hard in setting up this kind of a manufacturing capacity, manufacturing line where we can ship at large numbers with high quality. So as far as whatever we can see, as far as the business is there, I don't really see any issues in terms of not being able to deliver, barring any unforeseen events that I really can't predict right now.
Okay, sir. That's helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Agam from Raj Trading. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Agam, your line is unmuted. Please proceed.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. So most of my questions are answered. A quick thought. You might have said, but the was not clear. So can you share your thoughts? In your closing order book is already 4,400 crores. So I believe that a lot of projects will take time in. So whatever thoughts you can share, so what can we expect in the next 6 months to 1 year? What orders you will, or whatever you're looking at potential, whatever you can share. Just some color on it.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I talked about some of the key opportunities. I think that should give an idea of the business being targeted and how the order book is going to get filled up. And, again, driven around BharatNet Phase 3, expansion of backbone networks, expansion of BSNL 4G, 5G network, upgrades and things around that, right? I mean, most of the large opportunities I have highlighted. So those are the projects that are going to come into expanding our order book going forward.
So do you see them? Do you see all things progressing well going ahead? In the next 6 months, we should hear a few things from here. Currently from where we are.
These opportunities are all real. And apart from that, I think, as I mentioned at the end of my presentation, all the other drivers which are basically drivers for our business, which are causing expansion of network, growth of data traffic in networks, and the applications of expansion of 4G, 5G networks, and broadband expansion and data centers and stuff like that. I mean, all of those factors still show no signs of slowing down. They are still growing and going at a very fast level. So all the drivers for our business, the indicators still look good. So that's why we are bullish about our future.
Correct. This helps. Thank you so much, and wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Shah from Ambika FinCap. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity and congratulations on a really great set of numbers. My question is for Anand sir. So you have come from Juniper, who is a leader in enterprise business. So my question pertains to are we seeing a big opportunity in the enterprise side of the business? Because I couldn't see that on the business opportunity side. So if you can just allude to that part, because the capital requirement for Tata Group companies would also be in a sizable portion for us.
So look, while we don't talk about a roadmap, what I really want to say is that we want to build a portfolio that's going to serve both the service provider and enterprise in both wireline and wireless. That's the the vision and mission of Tejas. Again, we want to build the next networking and OEM, become OEM company out of India, and we will serve any and every market that suits us, including the group.
Fair enough, sir. But are we trying to replicate the products which are there in Juniper and Tejas as well?
Look, I can't comment. As I said, I can't comment on the roadmap. When we launch it, you will see it.
Oh, fair enough, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pratap Maliwal from Mount Intra Finance. Please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Pratap, you're audible.
Hi, sir. Thanks for taking my question. So, I heard you said that the operations and maintenance part starts after a period of 3 years. So, assuming we complete the supply of equipment maybe by FY25 end or Q1 FY26. So, when does the contract for O&M come in?
So, it will come in from 3 years after they are commissioned. So, it is not that it starts right at the end of the last deployment. It's for every different circle or every different deployment. I mean, as long as after their 3-year period, their maintenance cycle will start.
Okay, understood. And sir, you said that the one particular tender was running a bit behind schedule. I just missed that part. Was it the Kavach tender, the BharatNet tender? Which one is running a little bit behind schedule?
Yeah, the Kavach tender is running a bit behind schedule.
Okay, understood. And sir, just one last thing. So I see in the presentation that we've received some additional orders regarding that network densification part. So was this part of the original 7,500 crore order, or is it something additional in place of that? And do we foresee maybe some additional sites that BSNL would require for which we can get further orders as well?
Yeah, so this is part, as I said, part of the tender scope, but not exactly part of the, the original planned network, right? This is kind of an add-on to the original plan for the network, because as and when the network is deployed and we are seeing more opportunities and, more customers, they are kind of enhancing their plans, as I would say, to upgrade the existing sites from the original plan to add more bands to increase their coverage and capacity. So that's what is happening. So technically it is part of the same tender that we have won, but the specific plan in terms of the deployment of a particular band in a particular site, I think that is something which is evolving and it's causing, it's adding to our business as these additional bands are coming up. But this is not connected to the additional sites for the saturation sites for the additional coverage.
Okay. So is there any timeline? Because there's one prevailing line of thought that, maybe 100K sites might not actually suffice for BSNL to have a nationwide 4G rollout, looking at the kind of networks that maybe some of the other players have. So is there any plan in the pipeline for some additional sites maybe to kind of have a proper network rollout for that?
Yes, I think that's what we mentioned in terms of BSNL, our future opportunity, large opportunity is expansion of BSNL's 4G network. So that is exactly what we're talking about, that beyond the initial 100,000 sites, BSNL is looking at least 20,000 plus sites for expanding their footprint across the country.
Understood, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you for taking my questions and congrats on a good set of numbers.
Thank you.
We have time for one last question, please.
Sure, thank you. The next question is from Pankaj Kumar, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, Pankaj.
Yeah. So I wanted to know what is the amount of order won in the last quarter? What is the order mix in terms of India government, India private and international? And can you give some color on what kind of orders have been won by the company in the last quarter?
So are you talking about the new orders won during the quarter?
In Q2, I'm talking about Q2, the orders won.
We don't really split to that level. I think the orders won and the backlog will be categorized as India and international. And whatever is there is... And we kind of don't disclose the individual bookings through a quarter. We don't disclose the numbers, but we kind of give a picture of the overall backlog and some color regarding domestic and international on that.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
look, as part of closing, again, I want to thank the team. The team has executed really well. We've delivered a lot on our orders, and we will continue to stay focused and execute as we deliver and also as we build our portfolio, and in the process, hopefully gain more customers, more markets, and build a healthy business.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.